Hey there, see Paula and Michael.
Hi.
How are you? Good morning or afternoon or whatever.
Good morning. I like your backdrop. So nice.
Thank you. Yeah, I try to keep things kind of calm and relaxed.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for doing this. We're super happy to participate and help out in any way. So I'll monitor the chat also. And if you need any kind of particular questions, just ask me. If I know, I'm going to just respond. If not, I'm going to follow up after in the group. Awesome.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Appreciate it.
Perfect.
All right. So there's a couple of minutes before we get started. So as you guys log in, this is Q&A completely. I have no planned curriculum. This is just me kind of sharing what I know or what I think I know to help people onboard or improve whatever level they use Trainerize for. And gracefully, we have Paula from Trainerize here to help us out. So while this is not a Trainerize feature, this is just me doing my thing. Hopefully I speak in support of everything they believe in and such, but everything's going to be through the group chat. So if you go down and click the chat icon symbol, go ahead and start typing in your questions. That'll give me material to start working with in a couple of minutes when we are ready to rock and roll. Otherwise, we will sit and wait as people come on. So welcome as you guys come in. Just to repeat, I see Igor's on. We're going with Q&A questions over in the Zoom chat line, so please type in your questions on Zoom. I have my Trainerize Coach web platform open in case I need to go to a screen share. And I mean, even though we're a couple of minutes early, if people type in questions, I'll go ahead and start addressing them now. I got a 90-minute window to help contribute and do whatever I can for this thing. All right, guys, I'm here to help. Type it in. Guys and ladies. Sorry about that, Charlotte and Paula. Guys and gals, ladies and gents. Without questions, I'm going to start tap dancing. That's going to be pretty ugly. You do not want to see that. All right, so
hi Rob, how you doing?
Hey Merrick.
Hello. Yeah, good. Cheers. Just wondering whether there's a way to reorganize the products from when you produce them to how they appear on the marketplace, because obviously during this time I want to put some special offers on, but at the moment the only way I can figure it is that if I make a product, it automatically goes to the bottom of the list, so it's not that visible.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, you guys, if you're not online asking a question, do me a favor. Go ahead and mute your mics.
Just started.
Thanks, Joe. Sorry. Yeah, no, I know how it goes.
Cheers, Joe.
So, Merrick, as far as organizing your product, you're talking about on the Trainerize.me platform website?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Because basically I was just, when I first put them up there, I assumed you might be able to reorder them, but I don't think that's the case.
I'm going to ask Paula to step in on that because I honestly don't use that very much and I don't know how to organize those things. So Paula, is there a way to do that?
So the way we kind of recommend at the moment is to kind of name them, for example, in alphabetical order. So for example, the programs at the top, if you put A and maybe dash and then
I see. Okay,
they will just kind of line up properly. Also, I noticed some people just say they name them and then they also number them in order for the clients to do a particular program or a particular workout.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
I'll give it a go. I didn't realize it was alphabetical. No worries.
Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah.
All right then.
Well, I'll take it as a kind of recommendation. We do have an ideas form where we always like vote on ideas, so I'll just add it there right now.
Yeah, cool. No worries.
Cool.
And that would, Merrick, that would also go to, my background's engineering, so I immediately think of number system 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
Okay.
Fantastic.
All right.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you. So Charlotte asked a question. She's saying she's new to Trainerize, which welcome to Trainerize, Charlotte. This is really, you're the perfect person I was thinking of when we created this meeting. So she says for personal training, can we do group training also, for example, fitness classes? There's a couple of answers to that. If you're looking to do like a live presentation and stuff, my opinion is Trainerize is not the perfect application for that. I personally would create a Zoom appointment meeting, and then what I would do is for the people, I would definitely have them in my circle in Trainerize, and I would either have them in a group or otherwise commingled together, and I would share that link to them in that manner so that they could watch that Zoom class online. If you're looking, you could record it, and then I don't know if there's a time limit, but you would save that either as a public or a private video on YouTube, and then you can import that in and show that at another time if you're looking to use Trainerize for that. But you definitely, between Trainerize and Zoom, it's a very powerful combination of what you can do as far as whether having things public or secured to your own group in private. Does that give you some ideas and answer your question, Charlotte? Perfect, thanks. Okay, great, cool. All right, any other questions? Let's pop them out. We got 90 minutes here to kick stuff out. Anybody have questions that they're issues they're struggling with as far as an application or getting ramped up to expand how you use the application, web or mobile? Joe, Jamie, Train for Living, Igor, Michael. I actually got two Michaels, so Michael R, Michael T. What do you guys got? Tell me about how you train or how you're trying to use it. Any questions you have as far as using the app? And let's just make this really easy with the not 1,000 size people group here. It's okay to unmute yourself and go ahead and just chime in your question if you want to. So Jamie says, in the early stages, do you recommend setting up payment through Trainerize or just start with PayPal? Man, if you're just starting out with Trainerize, my first recommendation for right now, if you're trying to get stuff out in today's world, man, go with whatever is the simplest and the easiest for you. If you have the time and the focus to do it, I definitely love the Trainerize Pay sequence. We have Stripe as our own business account for other things and ways that we implement, like our scheduling calendar and things like that. But I love putting people, when it's all Trainerize, I love putting people into the Trainerize Pay sequence, using the automation sequence. It's really powerful, and it makes your life so much easier. However, that's only if it's easy on you. So the main answer is go with what's easiest for you. And if PayPal's it, do it. Get into Trainerize Pay later. So I hope that answers your question. If I ever answer a question, you guys, I don't hit the mark, type it in because I've got my chat open over here. So Merrick says, I'm also new to Trainerize. Tell me two things that are great about it, but I might not know about it. Merrick, I need to know more about how you train or what you do, because quite honestly, I could spend 90 minutes going through what I like about Trainerize. Years ago, when I came on board, I used another app that I thought was the most smoking hot best system. Not one of my clients was able to use it. So it ended up being the worst system. I went out, I searched out, and I found the application or the platform that best fit me and how we train and structure. And it was Trainerize. And they've continued to support or reinforce that as a positive decision because the level of customer support that they provide and the implementation and adaptation they do based on everybody's input. So in a few minutes, if I run out of questions, type in to remind me, we can go live and have that interaction. Train for Living says, so we saw FMSs on the app, but how is this getting implemented in the app? I'm not sure, Paula can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's still kind of a beta thing and you have to ask to have it triggered or turned on.
Yes, that's
yes?
correct. Yeah, yeah.
Do you have to be FMS certified to have Trainerize turn that on for you?
Well, we're currently working on a partnership with them, and this is why it's just in beta at the moment. So we created how it would work, but now we need to figure that out with their teams. But we had to kind of pause it for now. They've also been, they've been, I want to say, more MIA during this period, and we kind of focus more also on other stuff like video workouts and kind of supporting the platform at the moment. So it is in beta feature, you can use it, but I do think you do have to be certified. It's just like, for now, I don't have all the information.
Okay.
So stay tuned for more.
Yeah. So I am level 1 certified in FMS, and I have used it in Trainerize. It's really cool. I also use the FMS 360 app, and I know that they just went through a complete revamping of their system. That might be why they've been AWOL for a while. Anyway, it's a good system. So communicate with Trainerize, Train for Living, and see if that's something they can turn on or not. Good question, though. Absolutely. So Jamie says, can you set up Stripe payment through Trainerize if you don't yet have an automation sequence set up? Yes. You don't need to have your own Stripe set up. And actually, that's been something I've been asking for in the background, is to have the Trainerize Pay Stripe feature integrated with my own business Stripe. Right now, you have to run those two as separate entities. And while that is a little bit of extra noise, I do it because I personally find it so valuable to keep doing it that way. I don't know if you have to have the Trainerize Pay set up to use the automation sequence, because I've always used the Pay. Paula, do you have to have Trainerize Pay active to use automation in products?
Yes, but you can also trigger it with some other tools. For example, you could use, if you use PayPal, for example, you could use PayPal with Zapier. So anytime someone buys on your PayPal, the Zapier Zap runs, and that person is created in Trainerize. But it's like, it's a bit different depending on what tools you use. But if you use the Stripe, you do need Trainerize Pay to use Trainerize Pay for that automation. So it really depends on how you collect money in your business today.
Okay. And what about, if I understand, I might be assuming, but if I understand the question is, maybe they want to set up automation to where the person gets a certain program and goes into a certain group, as opposed to how they collect payment. Those two things are separate. Can I still do that without having Trainerize Pay approved and active?
You can do it with Zapier. So Zapier allows you to pair two apps together. So if, for example, and it's based on a trigger. So if something happens in one app, Zapier runs kind of an action, and something happens in Trainerize. So the actions that happen in Trainerize can be anything from add program to a group, assign a client to a trainer, assign a particular training program. So it's a bit, there's a few automation actions there, and I can actually share a link so I can show you what can happen. But
okay.
Yeah, they can be triggered with Zapier. So you do need to use Zapier as a kind of lion between Trainerize and something else.
So it sounds like you have a couple options, and if that doesn't answer your question, then do me a favor.
If you can be more specific, I can also help out after. Just reach out to us on the Instagram account, and I'll respond sooner there.
Cool. Thank you.
Cool.
And Jamie, if that doesn't answer your question, then go ahead and type another one in and clarify. So Perfecto Soccer says, or asks, when we add a new customized exercise to the library, is it possible to make it private so the client can't see them on the video library? I don't know that I'm clear on your question. When you add are you asking, Perfecto Soccer, are you asking when, go ahead and unmute yourself if you don't mind. Are you asking in YouTube if you can make it private? If you're asking in YouTube, I do make a lot of my exercises private, and I bring them in to Trainerize for that, because some are just for my clients, but some are also kind of that marketing thing to where I want people to see them and find them and know how to move correctly. So I hope that answers your question. Not in YouTube, in the video library. So in the video library, only your clients, in Trainerize, only your clients can see that exercise. I think they can search for it as well. Is it possible to make it private so the client can't see them on the video library? To my knowledge, if you have a video that's in your workout library, if a client does a exercise search, they should be able to find anything you have in your library. I don't think there's a way that you can make that isolated or private from one client to another. Train for Living. Thanks. Our head coach is FMS certified and we do use the Pro app. We'll look into this partnership after we get through the, okay. Yeah, so Train for Living, just message the Trainerize team specifically and ask them if they'll turn that trigger on for you. And you may or may not have to show your cert or something like that, but they may be able to turn that on. And then Igor asked Paula to please share the link that you offered for that, if you will, please. Thank you. Train for Living, on our site, it says that we have 4 trainers, although we actually have 3. Is there an extra trainer added as a default? No, it's probably the business owner, possibly. I think once upon a time, I noticed that too, as I created a couple of trainers or coaches or whatever for the different functions we do. For instance, we do online Spartan training. So I had Spartan coach as a trainer, and then my wife and I do the business together. So I had both of us as individual trainers and then both of us together. And it was pretty complicated, but I think I remember there were multiple trainers in there. So it might be the business owner as well. But no, there's not an extra trainer on your list. So Train for Living will do. Thanks for the clarification. Absolutely. All right, so everybody keep typing in your questions into the chat line. That's how we're trying to do it, to keep things really simple. If you have something real complex, we'll ask you to unmute, because this is a roll and go as we can figure things out. So Michael R says, yeah, new to Trainerize, cool. I heard Sharad say on the conference call or the meeting that they were on yesterday that I think Trainerize, the base of trainers in Trainerize is like doubled in the last week and a half or 2 weeks, which I'm sure you guys can imagine. I'm not trying to beef them up or anything, but Sharad had offered to have a coach, one of their trainers, come in and join us. But once it came down to looking at it, they prioritize handling the massive amount of help tickets.
We're actually going to have live sessions as of next week. We just had to organize some bandwidth on our end. Yeah. So we will have, like, on the Facebook group, like similar to what you're doing now, Rob, which is excellent. We're going to have one of our Trainerize coaches hop in for like live office hours twice a week or 3 times a week. We're just kind of scheduling them now. Ideally, it's like 3 times a week or more. But we're going to probably start next week on Tuesday with 2 times and then continue to do it. And same thing, Q&A, live Q&A. So I encourage everyone to join, and that's the time to ask questions and get deeper.
Sweet. Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you guys for doing that.
I'm super excited to do that.
So where was I? Michael R, I'm sorry. Okay, you're new to Trainerize and was wondering if clients can record their individual resistance and reps for every set they do. My client has simply been sending. Absolutely. It depends when you set up your exercises. If you're using your own exercises, just select the type of exercise you want, whether it's strength or endurance or whatever it is, and then that provides the recording slots. And what happens is when they open up their app, they need to click Start Workout. And when they click Start Workout, they have the option to enter their number of reps and their weight. And then in the comment section above, it's an appended note series, so they can make a note on an exercise, back out of it or save it or whatever, back out of it, continue on the workout. And if they open up that note section again, that note's there, and then they can add additional comments all the way through. I find that personally for my clients very, very beneficial. And I'm really always prompting them and asking them to please share exercise or workout session specific information as we go through that process. And then they save it and I see it. So yes, they can record that and then they save it. And then that's once you close your workout is when that RPE comes up. So the big is just letting your clients, asking them to record their numbers. Let me see. That was Michael R. Merrick. Can you add outdoor running, cycling, swimming as exercises? Man, I've been very creative in the exercises I've added to my exercise database. Ones that, like running, I don't have videos for, so there's no picture. So you can definitely add running. That's available as an activity. When you go to hit the plus sign to add, select activity, which used to be called cardio, and now there's an activity. That list is getting ready to expand humongously with the Apple Kit integration. but that's how they can add that in on their own, or you can prescribe it or add it that way. And then if you're doing a combination of run intervals and things like that, you can assign a run, a rest, and do it like that so that they can record timing or distance or heart rates, for which I've done each combination of that. I do heart rate training, distance, and running, as you might understand from Spartan training or whatnot. But yes, that can be done. Beth, I'm looking to get back into using Trainerize. Cool. Where can I find basic video on how to, because the programs keep changing, so I stopped. One thing you can do is, for our clients, I just recently went through and did video series of how to use the mobile app as a client. I've got my own client ID. That's on our YouTube page. It's public and it's all in one playlist. So if you go to YouTube and you look up True North Fitness and Health, our playlist for, I believe I called it TRZ is my abbreviation for Trainerize, but go in there, take a look at those videos. I used to, my background's engineering, so I'm a bit detailed background. My videos used to be like 5 minutes long. Through great pain, my wife has trained me to minimize down. I've learned eventually. And so each of those is like a minute to a minute 45 on one specific function, like my workaround for how to enter steps if you don't use a Fitbit, or how to adjust the tiles or get rid of tiles on the screen or the dashboard. There's, I think, 17 videos. I've taken those, I've made a master workout. And what's cool is you can sequence those as you want. That's all a master workout. So in somebody's first week of onboarding, that's one of their workouts that they have, which is the intro videos of how to use the app. That's the only thing I know of. If Trainerize has anything, I think it's coming out, because they're so busy changing things that by the time you take a video, it's obsolete almost. So that's the most up to date. I made it 2 days ago.
Your resource is probably more in depth. We do have a little tutorial video that you can share with clients, and that is like, it's on our help center. I'm going to share the link, and also one day you can share for trainers, or you can use. But I think Rob's will probably be more in depth, because it's a full playlist. Yeah. So yeah, and also share the getting started page for trainers. It's more like 9 steps you can do to get your account ready. Everything's video, so super easy to follow. And the COVID kind of resource page right now with more webinars, and I think more like help stuff, how to do live sessions, how to record, more like I want to say helping materials to kind of be more enabled to train at home quickly. So you can check them in the chat. And anyway, if you need any others, I'm gonna just type them here.
Cool, thanks. So you guys, I think I'm pretty sure that's a public playlist. If you don't mind hearing, hey guys, this is Coach Rob, this is video, yada, yada. If you don't mind that, go ahead and import those in. It's going to stay public. Or you can just use that as an outline for what you do on your own and record your videos or whatnot. So either way is fine. Let me see, that's Beth. So Train for Living, is there a way to import videos like on the FMS app from another app to Trainerize? You can bring in YouTube videos. So if you can, whatever video you can get up into YouTube, you can port that into Trainerize as an app, or I'm sorry, as a video. So I hope that answers your question, Beth. Sorry. Crazy here. All right, breathe. My wife's in the background coaching me. She's like, breathe. All right, trying to get to everybody. So that was Beth. Train for Living. Is there a way to import? We did that. Igor, how to share Trainerize link for online training to my private website. Igor, do me a favor. Unmute yourself so I can clarify this question. So, hey, Igor, when you're asking to share a link, is that for a product or what?
No, just for online training. Like I want to add one of, my private website, and I want to be one page for online training. And then I want, like some button which they can click and which will send them to, Trainerize my account, so they can sign there, you know, send me email or whatever to register for training.
Okay. I do know it's really easy for individual products. And for individual products, you go into your products list, you click the button to copy the link. You can write what you want on your website. You just paste that link as a button, as a straight link, whatever you want, and that takes them straight to that product. If you want them to sign up, I would send them to your Trainerize me.me page, because when someone signs up for that, it sends you an email to that email address. It pops them into your pending file to be approved, and all you need to do is approve it. Outside the scope of this meeting, I know there's ways you can, I think there's ways you can automate that using Zapier and things like that. Getting outside the periphery of just using the app and the web platform is not exactly what I specialize in, and it gets to very specific conditions. So not, trying to not get into that too much here, but I would say those are two of your better aspects, unless you want to start digging into going into a Zapier and an automated process. Michael R. wants to explain the Apple integration that you mentioned earlier. It's a beta release right now. If you go into your coach's platform, down on the lower left, there's options to get into a couple of different things. One of those options is integrations, or one of those pages has an option for integrations. And then when you look down, there's your beta labs. One of the beta labs is to activate your account for the Apple integration. And I can't tell you that I know a whole lot about it. I know Trainerize has some good information up on the web, but it's basically the system's going to look to see if the client has an Apple Watch already paired to their mobile device. And if so, it'll recognize it and allow them to connect to it. And then it takes that Apple information and ports it over. Similarly, the same thing happens now with the Fitbit. Fitbit pulls most everything over, which is also my workaround for clients who don't actually have a Fitbit device. If they go into the Fitbit app and they log whatever they're tracking with, like I've got a wrist thing, but it's not a Fitbit. I just look in here and it says, okay, you did 4.1 miles of movement today. I go into my Fitbit app and I log an exercise, which is walking. I log it as 4.1 miles and it ports over its own calculation of steps. There's not a direct correlation between this, my Polar Watch, or what my phone says, but it gets the steps because that's what I'm looking to track. So I hope that answers your question to some degree on the Apple. Good question, though. There's a lot of people looking forward to that. Merrick's asking, is scheduling in one-to-one sessions into the calendar on the horizon? That's been beta. It was something they started and it stayed beta because things keep coming up that appear to be a higher priority and preference. That is huge on my list. My workaround is that we use the platform, and there's several out there, but we use Acuity to track our appointments and all that type of stuff, and integrates with my Google Calendar. There's a ton of operations outside of Trainerize to do that. But once that gets integrated, we're going to look very seriously at getting into that, because I do like everything into one. And I do know that is on the horizon. I can't tell you what the distance is on that horizon though, but they have a forum where you can vote for things, and I recommend you go vote it so that we can get that up. Beth, Beth's just looking for links. Igor said, thank you. You guys are very welcome. Keep typing in your information, overload me with stuff, because also questions that are here, if we don't get to them in this 90 minutes, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to copy everything to a file. We can share that into Trainerize, and they have a working list of things they can address on these upcoming Facebook Lives. Or if I can squeeze in the chance to do something like this again, it gives me a running list to start on there as well. So Train for Living says, since you mentioned heart rate training, is there a way to incorporate MyZone usage into results? I use the Polar system, and I know Polar doesn't integrate, unfortunately. I wish it did. I use the Polar platform for tracking my clients and stuff. My Zone doesn't directly integrate either. I do believe there's voting for both of those applications in the forum. So everybody who is a My Zone person, hey, get in there and pop in and vote for that type of thing, and they'll get that set up or so. So hope that answers that question. I do know I've seen it. It's pretty popular, but I don't know how popular based on all the other items. All right, so keep things popping in with questions, guys. Other questions? And like I said, right now we're not at a massive number of people, so so heart rate training. Any other questions? Pop them all in. I'm here, and Paula's here, and I see Laura from Trainerize is here too. So hey, you guys got double whammy from Trainerize helping us out. So pop them in. Right now's the time. Let's get you all set up. Let's get everything addressed this weekend. So starting this Sunday or Monday, you guys are ready to rock and roll on whatever you're trying to do, whether it's working programmings, any questions on master programs or master workouts. I use those quite a bit. Anything about maneuvering through or handling your number of clients. Jamie says, I saw a video of someone using Trainerize app with their client while doing Zoom call walkthroughs. I thought it was freaking fantastic. Very creative. I'm usually coming up with workarounds and stuff, but I've never thought of doing that. I thought it was really neat. I can only imagine that he had a partial screen of what the workout was, so people who were following along could see that, you know, kind of like in the gym having your whiteboard. Freaking brilliant, man. And then you got the Zoom screen where you can see everybody and you're interacting. I thought it was great. If you can make that work, it's wonderful. You can run small group training, medium-sized group training. Yeah, I guess there's a maximum size at some point. Jordan saying Zoom or Garmin doesn't connect to Trainerize, correct? They don't interconnect now. I know that Trevor and those guys are looking at new video communications and conferencing options. With everything that's going on, that may be elevated up in the priorities. It may not. Again, I'm not on the inside track, so I don't know for sure. But I can only imagine. I know Skype is still integrated into the system. And what's coming, I don't know. But again, to use Zoom, personally, I put everybody into a group. I post the Zoom link for what the call is going to be, so everyone gets that. And of course, you make sure everyone has their notifications set. And then people just follow that link and they're in there. That's how it's really easy. And you can keep everybody in one place, which is really nice these days, because with people scattered and just fractionated thought patterns and short attention spans because of everything that's going on, rightfully so, you really want to do what you can to make it really simple. And he's like John Goodman says, what would this look like if it were really, really simple? So to me, really simple is I just put the link in Trainerize, which I know you're already going to, and that pops open Zoom and it goes. Cool. Train for Living thinks something is a really great idea. So that's great. Oh, she thought Jamie's idea was great. How does nutritional integration habit feature work? Man, what a fantastic question. Literally could take up 60 minutes. I love this question. What are the ins and outs of those two? Are they included with your Trainerize subscription as a trainer? Yes. Well, let me back up. Habits is integrated. I think it's still a beta, so you need to go down to the labs feature and activate it, I believe. Is that right, Paula? Yes. Okay. Yes. So you need to turn it on for your account down in your settings under the beta labs integrations. I had to log out, log back in to see it come active. I don't think it's an issue anymore that everyone needs the right version. When it first transitioned, there was a delay depending on who was where and maybe how their name is in the alphabet, but I believe that's populated out now. And the habits feature is really cool. So just to focus on that for a minute. There's some built-in habits, and then you can do a custom habit, which allows you basically to do anything you want as a habit. The integrated habits already have a video from one of the Trainerize coaches describing it. It's got a short little write-up on what they are communicating that habit is. They're nicely organized into certain categories, ready to pop and go. You simply, per person, select a habit. You assign that habit or multiple habits. You can pick how many days of week and for how many weeks you want that habit in practice. On the client's end, that's up in their first view on their dashboard, and it's on their plans page. Every day, or the day that the habit exists, all they do is touch it on their dashboard. It opens up, so it refreshes what the habit is, just in case it's something to do right now and you need to watch the video. And then you click complete, and then it's done. And on the progress screen, either on your mobile as the coach or your website, you see a monthly view of, and a little yellow circle on all the days they did the habit. You'll see a yellow line that's white inside if they didn't do the habit or they missed it. So the habits is really cool. What I really like is custom habits. I use that a lot because Shannon and I are so specific in what we do, we almost can't use anything else somebody else puts out. So everything we do is a custom habit. And if I want a video for that, I do an automated message, link it to a YouTube, or it's an exercise down below. It depends on who it is and what it is, but I can refer them to that video. And if it's an exercise or something, it's got the write-up on it. So I can duplicate all that other stuff with a minimal workaround. And then something I started doing is sending an auto message. Let's say Charlotte's my client. Charlotte will get an automated message, maybe depending on her day. I might send it at 7 p.m. or 10 a.m. But you'll get that automated message that says, hey, Charlotte, did you do your habit today? Please check in. Because that way there's no automated timing of like, hey, I forgot to do it. I forgot to check in. It's the end of the week. That way you get the message like, oh, crap. Yeah. And you check it off. So that's kind of an overview of habits. Please type in any more specific if I didn't clarify that. Nutrition, the ability to nutrition comes all built in. It depends on what degree you want to go. If you want to go with like evolution nutrition integration, that comes at a cost. If you're going to do it with My Fitbit or My Fitness Pal, we in particular use Fitbit across our client base. One of those, that integration is comp. The other person needs a account in that field. They need that app, and they do the integration in their settings, and you can send an invite to them to do that. And then you get to pull up what, you can see what their food is. You can set calories or macros if you want. There's a lot of cool stuff. You can adjust it. And recently they enhanced the feature that on a customer's, a client's profile page, you have the ability to enter in or select from a drop-down list their level of activity, which goes into the calculation, which is pretty accurate. I know a lot of people have opinions, but it actually ends up being about the most accurate calculation there can be for this process for basal metabolic rate. And then that helps you adjust, it gives you a target to set calories at. And then of course from there you can adjust it a little bit higher, a little bit lower, depending on the client goals. Phenomenal feature. That's exactly what we do. We set the activity, we set the calories and the macros as general targets to start. We always dial it in later. And then we can track that as they log their food, and we use Fitbit for that. But I know My Fitness Pal works just the same way. So I hope that answers your question on nutrition coaching. If not, again, please dial me in better with a follow-up question. Charlotte's asking, are there any future plans of offering Trainerize in other languages? I know there's several questions, and I know that's something that some people want. I would have to go into the forum for questions and find out where they rank. What I would tell you to do is find as many people in your language as you can with Trainerize. Maybe post a question in the Trainerize community. Hey, who all speaks Portuguese? German, I don't know. I don't know the languages it's in and not in. So post a question and have the link to vote on that item so you can post it in there. makes it really simple. That way, if I speak Portuguese and I want it, all I got to do is click on your link. I make my vote once I log in, and that's going to bump that up as high as you can get it. Because I do know that they are looking at those things, and basically they react to whatever the most votes are. Paula linked an article on how to use the habits even better. So yeah, great question on habits and nutrition. Those are two integrated features that, of course, are very powerful. And I know habits is one of those top 3 or 4 things I've been wanting and pushing for a long time. And I do know there are a lot of us pushing to get habits into what I call a memorized sequence, or maybe a master sequence, kind of like master workouts. I want to be able to build a certain sequence of habits, because as we all know, everything can start with a template. And Trevor and the planning team, that's on the horizon. They're working on that, as well as getting a custom video and a personal write-up on customized habits. That's in the plans. I do know, because that's something I'm tracking. Cool. Other questions, everybody? Pop in, please. Because also remember, if you've got something a little bit on your mind you're thinking about, there's going to be a lot of people around the world watching this recording down the road through this weekend, and they're not getting the chance to ask live. So you're actually helping to ask questions for other people in other areas who have the same exact questions. So no matter, well, I'll take a risk. No matter how complex or how simple or light you think it is, let's get the subject out there so that it can get addressed, because we do have time. Yeah, we still got plenty of time here. So I appreciate you guys being here. Let's pop this stuff out, man. Anybody else other questions on anything you're trying to do? Envision yourself 3 weeks down the road and say, okay, I got this and this down. Now what do I do? Huh?
1 week down the road.
Yeah, just 1 week down the road, right? Is there a way to turn on or off who can post in a group? Yes, really good question. And actually, that's a very new enhancement. You can go into the group settings and you can make it trainers only or everyone. I think that's the only 2 options. But the way that works is either whoever's in the group gets to post and interact, or it's a group just for trainers. So that's how you can have everybody in a group, or everybody you have in one group, and you can send out a daily motivational, or a GIF, or a picture or something like that. That way everyone gets it, but there's no commingling everything with all the different posts and comments back. So hopefully that's what you're looking for. I don't think you can limit certain clients to post and certain clients not to post. You can either have all trainers or everybody. But excellent question. That just came out recently, as a matter of fact. And that's a setting in the group's options. Good question, Jordan. Other questions of things you're trying to accomplish. It could be questions on groups. Beth, did you say that you can do live videos through Trainerize now? Because I don't think this was available in the past. Honestly, it all depends on how you're wanting to do live videos. So a live video is going to be like using Zoom platform or something. You're not going to be able to do it in the Trainerize app specifically. I was using my own videos upload through YouTube in the past. Yeah, that's the way I would do it. If you're running a live class to clients, whether they're paying or not, I personally would put them all in one group, and I would post the link to my Zoom meeting in there, let them know what time it is, of course, and then they will follow that link. It will go through Zoom, and then I would have it auto record so that you can take that link and you do whatever you want. You could have it on a YouTube pay-per-view channel, or you could bring it in as a recorded class. I don't know if there's a maximum length that you can import a video from YouTube. I don't think there is. I believe they let that be relatively open. But I hope that answers your question, Beth. Is there assign a single workout to each client with creating a full training plan? Hey, Jordan, where's Jordan? Jordan, do me a favor, unmute yourself so I can clarify that. I'm not understanding your question. He's asking if there's, I guess, is there a way to assign a single workout to each client without creating a full training plan? Maybe that's the question. I know when I type, I miss a few words too. If that's your question, cool, I'll answer that. If not, please unmute and pop in. Sorry, I meant without working a full training plan. If you're wanting to give everyone the same workout, that would be a master plan, master training plan. Now understand, you're not going to be able to integrate anything custom with that. You'll put everything into the master training plan. And you can plan stuff in the future if you want, but a master training plan can literally be one training plan with one workout in it. And then what happens, and what's really cool about master programs, is 3 days from now, when you build a second workout, you can upload that or post it right into that master workout, and it will populate everyone who is subscribed to the master plan. So something to talk about here in case you guys weren't aware, there's 2 ways to give people a master program, and that is subscribe them or copy to. If you subscribe them to it, that's just like being subscribed to anything. You're going to keep getting whatever is there in that master plan per the calendar and everything. If you make changes to that master plan, it populates across everyone subscribed to. If you take that master plan as like a training template, and this is one of the ways I'd use it, you copy it. So, you know, Jordan, you're my client. You're coming in on a pre-designed or pre-programmed plan. I take this master strength training 4-week plan. I copy it to you. If I happen to go in tomorrow and make changes to my master plan, you're not going to get that, because what that did is I took that master plan and I copied it to you as a custom program. So I make customizations to you now, and that only shows on your client account. Jordan says, is there a way to replace the Trainerize video for an exercise of our own, or do we have to create our own separate? Yeah, you answered your own question. There's the Trainerize preset videos, which hopefully for understandable reason, we can't change, because I'm guessing you guys would not like what I did to change that video or description, and likewise versa versa. It would be very confusing. So yeah, you can create the exact same workout, but you do have to make it your own exercise in your own library, and it'll be your own video doing it. So hopefully that answers both of your questions, Jordan. And then of course, any other questions or clarifications? Jamie, okay, good, cool. Keep them coming, guys, keep them coming. Do you need a separate Google form for release of liability per Q? Saw a consult form, but no other documents. So you have choices here, Jamie. You can use the preset consult in that consult tab. You can go through and read how to change it using the HTML coding or whatever, and you can change it that way. I did it that way for a while. The way we do it now is I went and created forms in the background of our own website that people fill in, and that way it's a lot more customizable and it fits my needs. And then I'll tell you something nobody else knows, I've never shared with anybody, but I use now that consultation tab. The consultation's blank in our account. So when you sign up, it doesn't send you the consultation form or anything like that. I use the consultation tab for my client demographics and psychographics. So I have their home address in there. I have where they work out, if it's a public gym or if it's at home gym. I list the equipment they have access to. I list their wife or husband or spouse's significant other's name, their kids' names, their animal's name, whatever it is they share with me, I post it in there. So now when I'm looking at a client profile, all I do is go to the consultation tab, and that's my ready reference running list. And I do that because it's so easy. And now, thanks to the latest upgrades, I have it on my mobile too, which wasn't available a year ago. So I use the consult tab for something different and take that in. But you can use a Google form. You can use a Google Doc or a spreadsheet. Granted, you need to give the link for that. And maybe that's in one of your welcoming emails. You can have somebody take one of those welcoming emails, print it out. And what we use also is there's an app called Tiny Scanner. When somebody fills out their information, real world paper, all they do is use their phone to take a picture through the Tiny Scanner app. It makes it an instant PDF, and they can email it to you, because I don't take images. Phones adjust them and mess with the resolution. I can't read them. I'm 57. Maybe it's because my eyes are not as great as they were, but I won't deal with those. So I have people do that. And that way I get a PDF that I can save into their account or on my hard drive. And I have their forms and stuff like that ongoing. And so Jordan, PARQ, release and liability. So for our liability, we use DocHub. There's several eSign programs, platforms out there. We use DocHub just because that's what I found. The account we have is free, and it plays really nicely with Google Drive. And I just personally send out that copy to that person's email address. It allows a very simple e-sign that you can do on your phone or your computer, and it comes back to us. It's completely tracked. The free version is almost HIPAA compliant. You do have to pay for a HIPAA compliant level, but it's full tracking. It tells you the status of everything like that. So that's how we use our liability form. Yeah, it is customizable. You got to play with the HTML, which I did it, so it's not that hard. It takes some work though. Any other questions? Master programs, master workouts, groups. Has anybody ever tried, or do they know that you can periodize your workouts over a period of weeks for a client? If not, and you want to do that, type in your question, because that's a feature we have used quite a bit. What program do you use for signing a waiver? Again, there's several good ones out there. We use DocHub, D-O-C-H-U-B. It integrates and plays real nicely with Google Drive. Try it out. And again, if you just search eSign platforms, there's a lot of good ones out there. More about periodization. Yeah, I thought so. All right. So simply put, when you design a workout, and it's, in wherever it is, whether it's in master programs or whether it's in a client's account, you need to schedule it. All right. So that's one of the keys, is either from the workout plan, you can just go to the little circle and pick it. A little calendar pops up and you assign it the days, or you go to the calendar and you can set you can set it and say every Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 4 weeks. Get that out there really quickly. And once that's scheduled over time, then what happens, and I'm going to jump over and share this because I don't remember the name. So I'm going to jump over and share it real quick, guys. All right. So hopefully everybody sees my screen. Go to clients here. Sorry, internet's really slow. Something about 99% of the world is online and using up all the bandwidth. And we've actually got a fast internet connection. So I'll do it. So we'll go to my account. Rob Yance, open my account. And I don't think, our gym closed, so I don't think I've scheduled future workouts for me. But I'll click to go. So I'm gonna go to my training program. Yeah, you can see my habits right here. Abstain from alcohol, shoot alcohol, apple cider vinegar, and take my supplements because I don't remember to do those things. So all the old training plans I've had. So let me move this screen over. So what happens here for my day A gym, if I click on schedule, then that shows the schedule I have going on there. So I'm going to schedule for next week, 4 days for that. So now I'm going to go to edit, advanced progression spreadsheet. Yeah, like I would have remembered that. If you click to open that, now what's going to happen is you can enter your progressions. So I don't write myself words for instruction, but you can click customize here. If I click this button, I can change whatever. I'm a really bad typer. So that's the instructions in Plutonian instructions. And so what I can do if I'm advancing, I can make this core work. You know, say this is back to week 1 because I haven't worked out in a couple weeks. I can make that 1. I can make that set 2. I can make that set 2. Make that set 2. And I'm gonna make my kettlebell swing set 8. So then I can go to the next customization. As I go through, I can change it. You can change the reps, as many good reps as possible on my ab wheel rollouts. So whatever you're gonna do, you customize each one. So you can see, you can change the sets. If you wanna progress reps, you can change that. You can change anything specifically. And then remember, please, to save and close. Once you save and close, now what happens, I'm gonna go back and stop share because we're done with that. So now what it is sorry, I'm playing with chat right here a little bit. There we go. So on my calendar is scheduled each individual workout. From the calendar, I can move those workouts. I have mine set, so our account set, so clients cannot delete workouts. I want to know if they missed them or if they moved them. So they can move them across. If they add a workout, they're going to get the exact same workout that's in the training plan, not a periodized thing. So it requires you to instruct your clients to let them know these are all preset and pre-progressed for you. So please go to your calendar and pick them as you need to do, or move them and adjust them and keep the same sequence, because otherwise you'll get, if they take the one from later in the month and move it up, they'll start at 4 sets and progress down to 1 set. And I think we all understand that's not what you want. So Jamie, if that answers your question about periodization, cool. If not, type in another question. We can dig in deeper on that. Merrick says, can you go to the calendar? Because when I check the calendar, it does not have the stats.
Jewel, come on.
Merrick, what do you mean by stats?
Come on, Jewel, guys. Come on, kitty.
Hi, Rob. Yeah, I just mean when I input the data for the progression, just weights and reps and things like that, it doesn't seem to be overly visible on the calendar when I go into that workout that I've put in there. That makes sense. So I've scheduled a 3-week progression, and then when I go into the actual workout on the calendar, it doesn't have it itemized as it was in the progression spreadsheet across all 4. If you understand what I mean. If you can get into the calendar and say look at one of the progressions that you've just inputted, when I do that, it doesn't give a clear breakdown.
Do you are you pulling up the workout off the calendar?
Let's have a quick look. No, from the exercise list.
So in order to see the changes, you would have to actually go to the workout itself. Like I think I picked, I picked this week. So if I pick this one right here on the 23rd, if I open it, if I say, well, I'm not on the start. If I were to open it on my mobile, it will show whatever the sets I have. Instead of,
while we were on that bit, when you go to progress, if you click that tab there within the calendar option, so just back to the window, pick your workout from the calendar, please.
All right, right there.
And then the progress tab there.
Yeah, that's going to show your progression over the exercise, so the charting functions. That's not to
right. So that's historic. That's historic then. That's in historic progression. Correct. History almost.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay. It might be maybe rewording that to maybe history, because I always thought that progress and progression were linked. So when I was trying to go between the two, I was thinking, well, hang on a sec, it hasn't progressed it. So
Yeah, well, welcome to the fun of the English language where we use the same word for 6 different things.
Yeah, for sure. Fair enough. Okay, thanks for explaining that though.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's unfortunately English isn't as smart as all the other languages where we have the different inflections and changes so that one word means one thing.
True. All right then, take care.
Absolutely. Yeah, if they open it up on the mobile, if I did my mobile, it should show those progressions. And then I know when you close it out and perform it, that's when I pull it up and I see what was actually performed and recorded. Let me get back out of share so I can see my chat feature. All right, so other questions here. Let's see what we have. Merrick says, go to the calendar. Yes, thanks. All right, other questions, everybody, please. What do we have? Anything else?
I have a question for you, Rob.
Absolutely, Paula.
I was wondering, how did you kind of adapt your training and your programs now during kind of gym closures and more like this self-isolation period? Did you have to create new at-home workouts? Did you edit what you had? Or kind of what was your approach to manage your clients?
Really, really good question. We have a diversity of client base. So we have some clients who have a home gym and they work out at home. Nothing changed except checking in with them to say, how are you? Can I support you in any other way? Some clients are total gym rats, barbells, hang cleans, all that kind of stuff. So that's not happening anymore. So again, it's checking in to find out what they need from us and then adapting and changing. So in all honesty, yeah, every single person who's going to the gym, we're giving them different things. And quite honestly, we're backing everybody off from the intensity of where they were at. And again, in all honesty, it's working with people to understand that that's the best thing for their health right now.
Yeah.
And so we're backing off and looking at health care as opposed to really killing it. So it's doing walks, doing breathing, understanding that there's other ways, doing moderate body weight workouts and working with people to make sure they're not overemphasizing, overdoing it as an escape type of thing, that they're looking at we're a health coaching business. So exercise and training is an aspect of what we do, same as food, diet is an aspect of what we do. We also do a lot in stress management and those types of things. So our approach is a whole package, but yes, it's basically doing a lot of people are starting to use the word pivot. So it's basically taking a pivot, but we're not assuming anything. We're checking in with our clients and saying, where are you at? What do you need from me? And then adjusting based on that.
Cool. Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I like that you mentioned that kind of training and exercise is a part of it, because we actually have seen more and more people prescribing the healthy habits and using messaging more and kind of keeping more in touch with them more also on the mindfulness and kind of like health-based level, not so much just workout related. And it's interesting that you said that, because we're kind of noticing this across as well.
I was really, really pleased to hear Sharad share that in the meeting yesterday, that tracking the demographics or the statistics or whatever, that exercises have suddenly just fallen off as the most active thing that happens, and it's the habits that are the most active things now. So I was really excited to hear that, because that
I do. There's been almost like, I want to say, I looked, it's more like 20-30% drop in exercises, and we've seen habits kind of just skyrocket compared to that. And also messaging in groups, I think people do need more that engagement and staying in touch. And as you said, reaching out, asking what you need, what they need, and kind of being in touch in that way. So messaging groups and habits really, I want to say, spiked up or like became more popular right now. So I really recommend using those as well, because it's kind of like everyone's using already and we're noticing this.
Yeah, it really is. We believe nowadays, right now especially, making things simple and kind of backing off in some ways is really the most important thing. And I was really pleased to see that the Trainerize population base is doing that. So it's a nice reinforcement that the people using Trainerize are really good coaches and really good at connecting with their people and making the course corrections that are necessary.
Yeah, Trainerize coaches are the best. I like it. Awesome.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody being on and sticking through. It's 12:30. Do you have anything else going on? I think we have this 11:30 to 1 o'clock. So Merrick, Igor, Jamie, Jordan, there's a few of us on. Michael R. Sorry, you're right beside me on my screen. You guys, if you have a question, just unmute and pop in. I know we won't have a record of it on the side, but it'll be in the recording. So pop in.
Yeah, another quick question then. Are you going to be releasing any more workouts that we could perhaps download or programs to the library?
Yes. So
any
we're
fresh
actually,
ideas?
Yeah, we're working internally to create some with some of our trainers. Actually, they are personal trainers, certified personal trainers. So internally, but we're also collaborating with some of our expert coaches, I want to say. So we're trying to, as of next week, just expect when you search at home workouts in the library, we're going to keep adding more. I'm going to post on social when we have some, but I know it's needed right now. Oh, by the way, if you have any ideas around what you want to see, just to tell in the chat.
I was going to say a 2-week lockdown home workout program would go really well about now.
Perfect. Yeah, you can already, we have some. If you browsed already the library, we have 3 that you can import
bodyweight
right
exercises.
away. Yeah, but there's more like, they were created before. But we are creating some specifically for this, like even using equipment that you have around the house and kind of making do with kind of an at-home space. So they're in progress. Our team is working. Yeah.
Cool. Good to hear it. Take care, guys.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Merritt. Francisco, I see you're unmuted. Do you have a question? I guess not. You just muted. That's one way of communicating. All right. Anybody else questions? Laura, I see you're on here from Trainerize. Is there anything that you think that you've seen in the background that are common questions from other people that we might want to address here?
I think the one thing that you touched on that would be really great to just get some insight from you on is you mentioned that you were supporting people as they're stressed and kind of facing this anxiety. What are the key things that you'd recommend? Like if you gave 3 tips of what to use to really hone in on that kind of like stress and anxiety, what would you recommend trainers start using to manage that with their clients?
Are you asking tactics by which to address stress and anxiety? Or okay,
a little bit. So it's like, are you increasing your messaging? Have you scheduled extra auto messages just to do like a daily touch base, that kind of stuff? Is there anything that you're doing because your clients are likely a little bit stressed and how you're supporting them?
Right. Yeah. Really, really good question. Because again, that kind of plays into the part of as fitness professionals, trainers, whatever level you're on here, we're all very empathetic and wanting to help people. And I think what a lot of people might be doing is overwhelming their clients. We're all assuming, because we feel the need to help, I think a lot of people might be assuming pushing and over communicating or overreaching. And right now, everybody's overwhelmed on social media and news, and they're fear consumed. So I really focus when I'm communicating. I'm doing more of the recorded video messages through the messaging app. I'm making sure I personally go through a couple of breath cycles before I communicate. I make sure I get my head straight on exactly what I want to say. Like I'll literally take a couple of breaths and really make my parasympathetic system engage so that when I come across on the screen, I'm calm, I'm controlled, I'm relaxed, because I need you to feel that energy through the screen. So I focus on my message and how I communicate. I tried really hard for me to get my words down. I speak a lot, I write a lot. So for me to get more concise is challenging, but I'm really working on keeping a shorter message because I know people's attention is shorter. We're asking our clients what they need from us so that we give them what they want from us. And then we do deliver that, but we're giving them space. And if they were to ask me, what 3 things do I need to be doing to focus on my health? I would be saying, and I don't know if I could get it down to 3, but stay away from the news as much as possible. Focus in on a couple of solid references, but there's more misinformation than good information. So stay away from all sources except for maybe 2 that are really trustworthy. Make sure you get enough water in, plenty of water. Breathe. I mean, good, deep breaths. In the military, we were taught tactical breathing and box breathing. The box breathing technique is really good for this process. You can pick a number, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds hold, 5 seconds out, 5 seconds each side of the box. Tactical breathing is out with the pauses. Doesn't have to be exact, but getting the breath in the nose and out the nose drives a parasympathetic response, which calms you down. Your body will eventually learn that and respond more rapidly to it. Make sure you're getting your sleep and make sure you're maintaining a decent routine. You're not on vacation. This is the new normal for now of life. So get up, take a shower, get dressed. Do what you do and need to do. Spend time with your family. Find the positive in what's going on and don't dwell on the negative. You're not going to change anything on the outside. So as a trainer, I'm doing my best to let them know I'm here, I'm calm, I'm living life, I'm doing these things. And those are a couple of the easy priorities to do.
Love it. That's amazing advice for trainers and for clients on both sides. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm definitely not giving them Tabatas or hit intervals to, as many reps as
Yeah.
as many reps as you can in 30 minutes. Go, Hey, Francisco, do you have questions? You're on mute, my friend. You're on mute. Francisco, you're on mute, my friend. Now.
Hi. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm just sitting back watching this. I have clients overseas in Brussels. I'm in Canada. I have clients in Brussels, and I do some people in Trinidad. They work on an oil rig. So now it's just this whole thing is now it's everybody that I'm doing it. It's good to know. You're right. What you're saying. Keep the stresses down, man. Just don't ignore the news. Ignore all that. I've got what I've done with my boot camps is pretty much that. Just kept them calm. Wake up, do your normal routine. I get on the thing and I tell them. So that's good. It's all good. Keep that stress down. They're all stressed.
Yeah.
So they actually wait for you to come online now.
Yeah.
Break up that day. They wait for me anyways to break up their day. I try and keep my workouts to 20 minutes. This is what I do anyways, just so I don't burn myself out because, they want every day a little 20 minutes is good, a little 20-minute heart pump. So that's how I'm keeping them motivated. They're all, it's all new to them, this online thing. Mm-hmm. So it's them that we have to kind of soothe into it, right?
Yeah.
So,
that's a good point. Let me build off of that for a second. I forgot.
Go ahead, Rob.
I forgot to mention that. Francisco brought a good point. A lot of people are looking at this and saying, wow, this is all brand new. This is a new thing. And honestly, online is not new. This is just an alternate path for doing exercise guidance or for us to interact in this way because people are used to going to the gym. But people have, I bet you every single person out there that's going online for training, I bet you they have an Amazon account and they do the Prime or they do those types of things or they online.
They do the beach body and all that too.
Yeah, so people are online. They trust online. They just need to have it expanded that a trainer doesn't have to sit there and watch and count every squat or something like that. So that's another good point is, you know, for anyone new coming on, we're helping them to understand that this isn't really new, except it's just a new way to do what you've been doing, but it's using a already well-known and well-trusted methodology, which is the internet. You know, people FaceTime. You know, I hear a lot of people saying that 70-year-olds or 75, it's too old to use a training app and a mobile phone, all that kind of stuff. You know what? We deal with 50 plus as a majority of our client base. We got a lot of 70 plus clients, and I'm here to tell you, they FaceTime with their grandkids. So you can't tell me they can't Zoom or do our app, and they are. You know, Shannon and I just started hooking up. We live in a 55 plus community, and we just started showing and working online with a couple of people in the neighborhood, getting them set up on Zoom. And what it's doing, they just want to talk and connect because now they're locked away in their homes. Some of them weren't able to get out anyway, but now there's the mindset, I can't. And there's that mindset that people aren't going to come visit me. Whereas whether that happened before or not is irrelevant. Now you've got it in your mind, I can't. I'm trapped. So having the Zoom call feature, I mean, you should have seen the smiles on a couple of people yesterday as we slowly work through. Zoom works on a Kindle Fire. It works on Apple. It works on Mac. It works on Android. I mean, it's across the platform. So
I like the platform. It's nice.
Yeah, it's really easy. So it's not new. It's just a new way to do the same thing. Kind of like reading books on a Kindle, but.
I just have a question. Do you think you have to have a strong Wi-Fi for things to like not glitch and all that?
That's a compound.
You know, people put on music and it starts going, you can't hear it, right? You start doing that, right? When people start to.
Yeah, so if you want a lot of information to be getting transmitted, yeah, you need more bandwidth. Otherwise, what's going to happen is the quality of your display is going to slow down or freeze. And
so that's why glitches and stuff happens. You just need a strong Wi-Fi.
Yeah, basically, you know, if you don't have a good bandwidth, you've got a half-inch pipe, and you're trying to pump a lot of water through it that you should have a 3-inch pipe on. So it's not going to fit.
I'm not a techie, man. I'm not a techie. That just made all the sense to me, right?
So yeah, I mean, so it's another good question. No, that's another good question because you don't have 250 Gs everywhere in the world. I mean, we're fortunate in the States that a lot of people have fast access, but in other places it's not. So if you're online training and you're looking to work with people in areas that don't have great internet, one, check with your clients and find out what the quality is they're seeing.
That's exactly what I do.
And adjust. I mean, if they're freezing up and not getting good information, you need to figure out a way to adjust it. Like I do Zoom calls on coaching for everything that we do, and we try to enforce the video. However, we work with people in certain areas, and oh, by the way, I'm talking like Montana and North Dakota also, because apparently the internet isn't invented there yet. No offense to anybody there, but there's places where it's really slow. I was on a call yesterday with a client and his dad. He's reinitiating after his school closed. And, you know, we froze and started breaking up. So what did I do? Understanding that we were on video, which is a lot of bandwidth, I just simply said, hey guys, let's end this, let's hang up, and let's just get on an old-fashioned phone call. So we ended the video, we got on a phone call, and we finished our coaching and did everything we needed to do. But that's pivoting and meeting your client in the conditions and environment they're at. And if people are in a bad area, it might be no video. That might be the best way to go. It's a nice to have. It's not a must have.
And the additions Trainerize has with all the progress tracking and all that, that's just bonus, man. That's amazing. That's awesome. That gives a lot of confidence to people getting their work done, you know. So what I've done is I've been doing a bunch of free little boot camps for people that don't know what this is all about. And all of a sudden, 10 minutes in, they're sweating. So I catch them right there. I say, see how you're feeling right now? And I work on that. When I see them sweat and their face is turning red, I work with that. Say, see, this is no different than what we would be doing in a gym. And then they realize it at that point.
Yeah, a lot of what we do in checking in with our clients is when they check in a workout or they do something, keep it simple and minimize my footprint on their day is I give the little icons, a thumbs up, the applause. By the way, question for Paula. I loved when I used to be able to generate the sound for the taunt or the applause and stuff. That's gone away to just a standard notification.
Yeah, I like that too. I don't know what happened to it. Let me ask our team. I know we had the discussion around it, and I don't know, it was glitching somewhere, so they removed for now while they're looking at it. But I'll update you on the progress. Everyone liked that. That was our favorite. So trying to get it back.
Yeah, I love
I'll check because I don't know where exactly it is.
I honestly miss the taunt because for our military and law enforcement clients and stuff like that, the taunt is it's a real cool way for us to interact, especially guy to guy. Meet
a hand clap?
Huh?
It's a hand clap feature?
Well, when you go to
achieve something,
when you go to respond to somebody, the icons, the hand clap used to do a hand clap.
Yeah. That's cool.
It doesn't do that now. It just does a check-in.
Yeah, I've been trying to that too. I've been creating workouts that interact. So today, like I did a dice workout yesterday. I just gave a bunch of exercises and let them pick the exercises they want to do and did routines with them with those. So just keep it simple.
Yeah.
I keep push-ups, sit-ups, squats. You know, something that a beginner will be able to go right on Facebook Live and, hey, I can do that, you know?
Yeah. Hey, it's
motivating for them.
We got somebody new just checked in, Christy. Christy, do you have any questions for us? You can either type it in the chat or check in, either way.
See, this is the part I hate. So I try to make them answer.
I'm trying to play nice in the sandbox today.
You put the spotlight on.
I did, and I apologize if
that's
good. Not her personality and she doesn't like being called out. I apologize, but you can type it into the chat line there, Christy, if you have any questions. Because
is that a Zoom backdrop, Rob? Because that's amazing.
Oh no, dude! I live in Olympia, Washington. I figured for this I'd go right down on the Butt Inlet. That's the Olympic Mountains in the background. It's like 32 degrees out here, but
Oh wow, it's like 15 here.
It's my green.
Wearing a sweater.
In all transparency and honesty, it's our green screen. We do a lot of Zoom, and
that's cool. No, that's important. Display. That's cool. That attracted me, man.
Thank you.
It makes you look very stand out, like you're standing out.
I am. I'm standing outside. No, I'm kidding. No, and this is another feature that you guys can look at. If you decide to utilize Zoom, one of the features is using the virtual background. It's in your settings. You have to import pictures in, and you need. I mean, this is a green sheet that's behind me that the image is placed on. But what you find out is, I mean, I've got a couple of windows and a little bit of sun shining through, and the wall of my house in the background, all that.
That's actually green. It's a green blanket.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Let me see. It's you can see up there. There's.
Okay. Yeah. That's interesting. Cool, man. Very cool.
There's my desk.
Wow. That's cool, man.
So, all right, Francisco, I'm gonna jump over to Deneen. Hi, Deneen. If I mispronounced your name, I'm sorry. Do you have
Rob,
any?
it looks like we sorry, we had a question I think from Marek about setting up free trials without credit cards, just in the comments.
Thank you. Yeah.
No worries.
So Merrick says, is there a way to set up a free trial product without the need to enter card details, payment detail? Correct me if I'm wrong, Paula, but not that I know of. I think you still have to enter that information and go through that process, but you can give them a code, discount code.
Yeah, we actually have an article now. I created how to, I just created it, how to basically offer free trials by doing the 100% discount code. But I think Marek knows that you have to add the credit card for that to happen in Trainerize Pay. But there's a way around. Like basically you can add anyone on the platform manually and they have it like it's a free trial, and you can just keep track of their duration. So if you add them and you add them, for example, on a 14-day program or maybe a 1-week program, when that expires, basically their app access is paused, right? So you can kind of manage it manually. It just depends how many you have, right? And then it kind of starts to be complicated because with the code you can share to many people, so then they can sign up. It's very self-serve. But if you have to add 50 people on your own, it maybe takes a while. So, yeah.
Hey, Deneen, did you have a question? I'm sorry.
Sorry about that.
Maybe not. Deneen, if you have a question, either unmute yourself or we have the chat column open that you can type in if you don't want to talk. Right now you're muted, which is fine. You can stay muted or
Yeah,
there.
I'm unmuted. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. What question can we answer for you today?
Oh, I'm just sitting in to listen to what everybody else has to talk about.
You're auditing. Okay, cool. If you have any questions or anything, pop them in, no matter how small they are, because we have a relatively small group, and basically you guys represent everybody in the world using Trainerize. So any questions that you may want to know the answer to, pop it in.
Well, I just started. I mean, I signed up like in 2017. I never did anything with it. I'm a career trainer. I've been training for one-on-one training for about 29 years. I'm certified through ACE. And I've had a very good independent business, and I need to get off the floor. I'm getting ready to have a really big surgery in about 2 months. And, you know, after that, I want to just kind of focus more on doing more online training. And I am technologically very deficient, to say the least.
The cool thing is Trainerize is designed as a pretty simple platform. The only thing is it's a new thing. So kind of like way back when you did your first checking account balance, that was really hard because it was brand new. So as you're going through, there's the Trainerize community to ask questions, or if there's anything you're trying to do right now, that instead of you trying to figure it out, right now is the time to ask a question.
Okay. Well, I mean, I just started last night. I started putting in my clients because I went ahead and stopped training people at the gym last Sunday, I guess. So I finally got on this, and last night I put in a few clients, and that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay.
Just kind of a trial and error. Like I've got my husband, I signed up my husband just so I can see kind of what the interfacing is like with all of that. So I don't even have my my payment structure set up yet either. That is a question I have actually. So as far as the what Trainerize uses for you know, the method of debiting, etc. Is there a cost to us on that? I have not looked into that yet.
There is a slight built-in cost. I'm trying to remember. I believe for the Trainerize Pay setup, they use Stripe.
Right.
And for Stripe, it is, I think it's $7 a month using the portal, which I believe is a pass-through. I'm not sure. And again, Paula or Laura, correct me if I say anything incorrect. So they're passing through that, obviously, because that's a charge they incur, they give to us. And then on top of that, I think Stripe charges 2.85% plus 30 cents a transaction.
Ooh. Okay.
And that's the normal thing. So what you do is you look at what you need to make,
Sure.
and then you figure that a little bit higher to cover that if you want to. And
Right.
or that goes into your cost of services and goods,
Right.
which is,
I get all that.
you
Yeah.
adjust for that. And then Trainerize Pay has it's either a 0.1 or a 0.15 on top of the 2.85. So it's a slight bit more, which I'll be honest, when that first came out, I went, whoa, and started thinking about it. But then I actually ran the numbers on my programs, and for a month and even for a year, it actually ended up being so small. I was like, yeah.
Well, I think at this point, if I've got stuff coming in monthly, because the way I run my business, is, they pay for 12 sessions or whatever at a time, and go that way. So, I mean, I'm just trying to get everything more organized and more professional.
Right. Yeah.
I've been doing this just for so long. So
we use our own Stripe account for some things, and we use Trainerize Pay. As soon as Trainerize Pay gets to the point where you can add in extra things and that's all really dialed in, we may switch everything over. The last thing I'm personally looking for is for Trainerize Pay to integrate in with my own Stripe account, because there's benefits to the reporting and data features through your own Stripe. Right now, it's its own account.
Okay.
But we still do it that way because of the benefits that go with it.
That's coming, Rob. It's going to come in a few months. So
yeah, I'll let you guys know. I pound on Trevor pretty hard.
We know, and we like that.
Sorry, Trevor, but Christy typed in a question. She says she's wanting to go more online, and she'd like to see what other clients or others are doing. Are we doing? I'm sorry, this is her second question. Her first question. She agrees with Deneen. She's not computer savvy much. She has a client who wants to stop in person and go online. Hey, that's the new normal. She would like to do live coaching with her to continue her training during this time, and she's hoping to learn how to incorporate Zoom with Trainerize. So watching the recording will address this, but very simply put, they're not 100% integrated, but you can use them really smoothly. What you do is you Zoom account, you create the meeting, get the link, and send that to your client or your group in Trainerize. That gives them the link and they can open it up. And so you're holding your live meeting or whatever you're doing, your class, whatever that is, you're holding that in Zoom, but you're communicating the link and all that kind of stuff through Trainerize. So you're keeping it really simple, really clean, in my opinion. And you're using the platforms for what they're optimized for. I hope that answers that, Christy. And then she says, you're also wanting to go more online. So you want to know what others are doing. And honestly, they're doing a sundry of things. Are you doing more live with Zoom or just letting them access their workouts via Trainerize? Honestly, I think that depends really on how you train. There's people doing live Zoom interactions, and there's people doing program delivery and maybe doing a Zoom meeting to watch some moves or watching the movements recorded. And then there's in between, we do video coaching calls, which is something like this. And then if there's moves to be watched, I just ask clients to record that and send it to me. And I watch it. I import it into my own program or another app called Coach's Eye that lets me break it down frame by frame by frame. And that's where I do my technical movement coaching. I do run a very small boot camp, and I have them in a group. They just access the workouts. It isn't me coaching them live. And yeah, it's I've heard several people, and I think Francisco said it too, that he runs, he's running some interaction where there's live video and stuff back and forth. So there's a combination of those things going on. It really depends, in my opinion, on how you want to do what you do. And then you figure out what's the best way to do it. And honestly, I think in today's world, from an individual business perspective and from your client's perspective, do the thing that's easiest. Do it the most simple way possible. It can get more complex or more compounded down the road, but right now, people need easy.
What are people generally charging like monthly for their programs if you're doing, like, let's just say you're just giving them the workouts on their own and not doing Zooms? What's about the average? I mean, I know it's going to be different all over the place. So I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. You know, so, I mean, you know, clearly you don't charge what you would charge in person. What's the percentage that we cut off, or how does that work? I mean, they're paying me for my experience. They're not paying me for a program.
Yeah, I think a lot of that, it's a good question. I know it's something that every one of us think about. To me, running the business is my time is my time. So whether, you know, I look at the package I'm delivering. If you were my client, you know, what does it take to write your program? What's my time worth to do that? Are we having Zoom call meetings, and what's involved in what I'm delivering you? And then from there, what time does it take? What's my business practice for what I charge on top for my business? Am I looking to make 15%, 10%, 20%, whatever? But it's that algorithm of what you're doing for your business that you charge your time at. And then in today's world, it's figuring something. If you need to meet people in the middle, it's understanding your margins.
For sure.
And having maybe that sliding scale, because honestly, I've communicated with a lot of people that are not affected financially in any way yet.
Right.
Most
of my clients aren't either. Yeah.
Yeah. I've even heard cases from a couple of associates who work face-to-face in person, and their clients are going, hey, I know the gym's closed and I've got another 5 appointments, and I know we're not going to be working together for at least the next month, but here's my payment for next month because I want you to make it. And then there's other people that are now out of work, and, you know, they're on 2 weeks notice and things like that. So that's a really difficult question in general. And I think now it's even more challenging to answer.
Yeah.
I went from $100 to $50 online boot camp. That's what I did. My my in-person boot camps are $115, and I just cut everything down to $50. And I told them at the end of everything, I'm going to give them a free month to reimburse whatever they lost right now.
Like
That's
now,
what I've
right?
done.
Yeah, right.
That's what I've done. I just cut it 50% off. The clients know me.
Yeah, right. That sounds reasonable.
So I just said that. They were really, the response was great. They were like, oh,
well, when
my
they
God,
love you,
God.
I mean, when they love you, they don't want to lose you. You know, I mean, when you're so much
a lot
a big
of it is
part of their
about
lives.
you and how much they love you. You know, because if you show a lot of they like that. I don't know. They like that from me. I do a lot of Spartan race, a lot of CrossFit games, so they like the rah, rah, rah. Not everybody loves me, though. I get people hanging up on me all the time, too. So,
hey, Melissa, do you have any questions? You can either pop on live or you can type into the chat column. Depends on your preference for speaking or writing or so, but I see you popped in. So answering that, Melissa, oh, you're just listening. Okay, you're the fly on the wall. Hey, no problem. All right, if you have any questions, pop them in there. We've reached the maximum planned time, so if anybody has questions, right now's the time.
Hey, listen. So Zoom gives you 40 minutes?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so there's differences there. If you have a free Zoom account, you can have a one-on-one like Paula and I, or Francisco and I, or whoever, one-on-one. There's no time limit that I know of. However, once you get 2 people on, i.e. 3 counting me, so if it was Paula, Deneen, and me, now you're on that 40-minute time limit for the free accounts. So once
I heard you can have up to 100.
So once you go in,
that's free, for free.
Once you go into the pro account, which is paid, like that's where we are, because we have a lot of meetings that go 45 and 60 minutes.
Yeah.
So we pay for the pro account, which is the in-between account. We can have up to 100 clients or people as included in that package. Now, If I were to pay, I can get a 1 month or a month by month increase to 500.
Oh yeah, 500.
Now, as far as the free account, how many people you can have in a meeting, I don't know.
Free is up to 100.
500. That you got to have a big bandwidth for that, right?
Free
Yes.
is up to 100.
So
That's
Shannon's
probably different
online.
locations though too. You know, you got different locations maybe.
Well, Shannon's
that.
online looking at the Zoom details now. She says that free account, you're right, free account,
Is up to 100.
you can have up to 100 people.
Unlimited one-on-one meeting,
40 minutes.
Unlimited one-on-one, like I said, that can go to whatever time.
but 40 minutes.
But the second you have 2 people on with you,
It's 40 minutes.
you're on a 40-minute counter,
Okay.
and you can have up to 100. But I mean, if you're being professional, you're gonna plan on 30, 35, because I don't know how well they track the minutes.
Mm.
I know I would hate to get on a call with a group of people or be doing something, and then right in the middle, or right at 40 minutes, go. And that, because honestly, at any time that's not wanted, but especially today, you want to come across professionally and dependable and reliable, and appear like you got some type of kind of balance and control on what you're doing.
Right. So Zoom is it, so it's interfaced with Trainerize, or it's just something that you're just telling us that we can use in addition to?
The synergy is really, really good in my opinion. The way we use it, it's not integrated as far as
Okay. I got
on top
you.
of each other.
I got it. Yeah. Okay.
All right. You got it, right?
Okay.
You got it.
Yeah, that means stop. Net, stop.
So Melissa said that's one of the questions she had. So that's great. See, Melissa, you had a question.
Mm-mm.
Let me know, because I'm running over now. I'm on borrowed time with all you guys, and depending on what you have planned, you're going to be disappearing. And I know at 1:30, I definitely have to pull the trigger, because I've got another group I volunteer my time for that I've got to jump into.
Have a great day, Rob. I
Thank
gotta
you,
go.
Francisco. You too.
I
Thanks,
got kids.
thanks for joining
Thanks,
us.
Francisco. Nice meeting
Thank
you.
you, everybody. See you guys.
Take care.
Trainerize
See you.
rocks, man.
Take care.
Let's make this Trainerize come out.
You rock as
See you
well,
guys.
guys.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks, Francisco.
Take care.
Christy, you're very welcome. See, we're all trying to figure out ways to give back. This is one of the ways. I've used Trainerize for years, and I know I've either worked my way around anything you guys can come up with, or I use it in the ways it's designed for. So I can answer most any question, especially if you're trying to on-ramp and upboard quickly to start making things happen. And this is one of the ways I can give back and provide support. So I'm here right now. Ask any lasting questions right here at the end, please. Remember, you're for everybody
Yeah,
in the world.
I'm good right now, just because I've got to get, I only signed up for, I think I did maybe the 15 clients to start off with, because I'm going to use my base clients that I have from the gym to see who wants to jump on board for online training. And then I know that my reputation in this area, I know once people know that I'm offering some online training, I'm sure I'll be able to get some more. So then I guess
Cool.
I'll just end up, that was a question. Bumping up your package and getting rid of, so if I add a client and then there was something about you need to not just delete them, but you need to, what was the,
Deactivate.
Deactivate, yeah. So how do you deactivate them? I figured out how to delete them, but not deactivate. Like I had Timmy, I had to get rid of, right?
And in your client list, just select the client.
Yeah.
Are you looking on mobile or the web?
I got both going. I got my web going.
So I do most of my work like that from the web, although it's just as easy to do from the mobile.
Yeah.
But if you select a little box beside the client to select the client, and then let me pop over to mine real quick.
What am I doing?
So in the client view, if you select the box next to the client's name, because you have to select the client.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Find a client. Okay. Yeah.
And
all right. So
there's little icons up across the top.
Right.
I believe I believe it's the ellipses. No, it's not the ellipses. Let me see here.
See, that's what I don't see is the deactivate.
Oh, you know what? It's the little icons there. There's a file box. It's called archive. And then there's another one that's a trash can. The trash can is delete.
Right, but you don't want to delete it.
The file box is archive. So if you click that, you archive it. And that's,
Okay, archive it. Okay.
and that's
And so
deactivate.
Okay, and then is that going to be taken away from my 15 clients that I bought for every month, or is that, I mean, once you deactivate a client, deactivate a client, can you replace that client?
Yes. The only clients that count towards your seating allowance are active clients.
Awesome. Okay, great. I did want to know that. That's important. Okay, good.
Yeah. And if
Okay.
deactivating the entire history stays there, if you expect somebody to come back to you, deactivate them. If they're gone good and you don't need the past information, then you can just delete them.
Okay. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much. I've got my little grandbaby waking up, so I'm going to sign off. Thanks a lot. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for joining. Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So Melissa or Christy, you both, Christy's asked a couple of good questions. Christy's learning to use the ability. Please, if you guys have any questions, type them in now. I'll give you a few seconds to do that. Otherwise, we'll start signing off a little bit. So now's your last minute. This is kind of like if bars were open, this is last call. Although we're drinking water here, but still.
Healthy habits.
Yeah. Christy says she's good and thanks. Okay, you're very welcome. I'm glad. I mean, my end purpose of this is to provide value and to get you guys up. I really want Trainerize trainers to be the best people that are out there. Melissa, I think the Zoom one was the question I had the most. Do you have any other questions, Melissa? You joined us at the latest. So if not, that's cool. But if so, going once, going twice, you're good for the moment. All right, cool. Any other questions, just pop into the Trainerize community and ask your questions there, because we're always in there, and we're lucky enough to have Trainerize highly active in that group. Otherwise, everybody out there watching the recording, I hope this was a huge value. And those of you guys still on it, I hope you guys great value also. Really appreciate everybody's time to pop in there. We've been on here quite a while. So
thank you so much, Rob. We also appreciate you.
And Paula and Laura, thank you guys so much for being here.
Always.
Has massive backloads of stuff going on right now. So you guys are very, very gracious to be here as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rob. Thanks, everyone.
All right. So signing out, everybody. Everybody have a great weekend. Keep calm. Do well. Be safe. Be smart.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Rob. Thanks for everything.
You're welcome.